Chapter 92. Helena inquires about the origin of Mathal's knowledge. Helena says, "Oh, you very dearest Mathal, nothing has ever been made as clear and lucid to me on this earth through pure words. As a consequence of your living way of describing, I was quite actively present myself in all the deeds and action in ancient Egypt, and saw the greatest truth rain down before my very eyes. But only tell me one more thing now. In which way or in which school did you discover all this so efficiently? For by heavens, such a thing cannot be produced just like that, like some ears of wheat from out of a sack. So how did you learn all this so solidly?" Mathal says, "Oh, Helena, yesterday I was several thousand times blinder and unknowledgeable than one of your stupidest servants, and in addition was so ill that only God alone could heal me from such a never-heard-of sickness. Such a healing would not have been possible for any human art. But after I was healed, I received not only all my bodily strength again in almost a moment, but the Lord of heaven and earth awoke, among others, my spirit in my very gloomy soul. And look, this spirit teaches me now everything in its basics that ever were and are, and some other things that will be. You see, that is all a pure gift of mercy from the Lord, whom alone you and I owe all praise, honour, thanks and love. And I have never learnt such a thing in any ordinary school. The Lord alone is my everything, my school and all my wisdom. What I know and can only through the Lord. And I tell you, he who does not know about something from there, be it whatever it may, knows nothing at all. For all his knowledge is a vain, fully void and useless piece of work. Therefore be diligent in the single school of the Lord, who now in all his divine fullness moves among us physically, and you will never need another school in all eternity. Do you understand that, most blessed Helena?" Helena says, "Oh yes, I understand you well. But how can a weak mortal person, for example I and my father, get into the school of the Lord?" Mathal says, quite excited, "Oh, Helena, you most blessed of the whole great Pontus, how did you get to such a blind and stupid question? You must forgive me if I give you a very harsh answer to your question, which you have not considered in the least. You and your father are already in such a school. How possibly can you ask how and when you will get into such a school? Yes, don't you see at all yet how the Lord has worked such great signs for your sakes?" Helena says, somewhat embarrassed. But I beg you, dearest Mathael, do not hold it against me. I now see my foolishness very well, and will never come to you again with such a question. But you just have patience with us, and always consider that Rome was not built in a day. Gradually everything can be achieved. If my father is old, so I am still young. And see, I am no girl that is hard to direct. All my teachers confirmed that, and my father knows it too. Oh, I will certainly not put you to shame, dearest Mathael. But only sometimes a little more patience would do no harm. I beg you for this. Mathael, quite affected by the great gentleness of Helena, says, "Oh, most blessedly gentle Helena, never again will you have to ask me for patience. I never meant it unkindly when I sometimes look a little serious. And through a more serious word, I only want to bring someone quicker to their goal than can happen with very mild words. But I see that you are gentler in your mind than the tamest dove. And so there is no further need to wake you with serious-sounding words. Helena says, "Nonetheless, therefore, have no consideration for me. If you can bring me further with serious words, just be as serious as the great Pontus when his mountain-high waves enter into a violent battle with the hurricane. If you can bring me and my father just as far with gentle words and lessons in the same time, that would be much preferred. But now about something else. Yet another very short question, and I will then have time enough to think. Tell me now, who has named all the many other constellations, and for what reasons?"